Welcome to Montoya Adventures. When you get ready to go on your first cruise, you probably have different expectations and different questions about the cruising experience. So Ron and I are here today to tell you about the realities of cruising and hopefully help you prepare by answering the most common questions. Welcome back to Montoya Adventures. I am Kim.
And I'm Ron.
And we are here to talk to you today about first-time cruising questions and answers. We recently sailed on Royal Caribbean's Quantum of the Seas, and this was actually Ron's first cruise. And he had a lot of questions going into it, and we thought new cruisers would probably have the same questions. So I did a little polling over the internet, and I found the top 15 most commonly asked questions. So we are going to answer those for you and find out a little bit more information from a first-time cruiser and his experiences on the ship. Also, if you find this video educational, funny, amusing, whatever, please give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to our channel. That way you never miss out on new content as it comes out. All right, here we go. This was the number one most commonly asked question for people getting ready to cruise. Ron?
First question is, what is included in the price of your cruise?
Okay, so this is a really commonly asked question because some people think that all you're doing is paying to get on the boat. And there are so many things included in that stateroom fee. So I have note cards and we're gonna go over a list of things that are included. First of all, the food. The basic food options, excuse me, include the main dining room. You could eat in there for lunch, dinner. There are set dinner times. And during that dinner, you could order anything you want off a menu. It's basically a 3-course meal, but you could order every single appetizer if you wanted to try it. Multiple entrees, multiple desserts. And if you tell your head waiter about certain dietary restrictions or requests or things you like, they will go above and beyond to make things for you.
And they do ask if you have any allergies or things like that for them to notate, so they keep it in mind for you.
Right, and as soon as Ron said he eats low sugar or tries to minimize sugar, they kept bringing sugar-free ice cream and other sugar-free desserts. So it's really nice. They really take care of you in there. In addition, there are a few buffet options that are included. The Windjammer Cafe and the Solarium, the Solarium Bistro.
Yes.
Those are both buffets that are available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, several hour spans, and it's all you can eat as much as you want, including the iced tea, the water, the coffee, and juices. Yeah. Those are all part of that. There's a few other places. Cafe Promenade is available the majority of the day and into the evening, and it is included in your cruise fare, as is the Cafe 270. There is a Boardwalk hot dog house. It's in the area where there's a lot of the sport court thing, the Seaplex. And you can get hot dogs, bratwurst, potato salad, a lot of really kid-friendly foods there too. And also there's a Sorrento's Pizza that's open very late into the evening. Like I said, there's drink stations and water stations all over the place. Additionally, included in your fare is your room and board, your clean sheets, your towels, and when you talk to your stateroom attendant, if you need specialty items like, I wanted a bucket of ice every day brought to our stateroom and he had it in there for us daily, or a mattress topper, or there's different things you can request, more pillows. Yeah. They're all included. Other things that are included, basic room service. So you have the option to order basic room service in the morning for breakfast, and that would be like a continental breakfast including pastries, muffins, a fruit plate, oatmeal, cereal. I had apple juice delivered. You can have fresh coffee and tea brought to your room. Now there's an additional room service menu that's larger, which you will pay for, but those are basics that are included.
Basically like your continental breakfast.
Yeah, like a continental breakfast.
That's included.
And it's kind of nice to have that as breakfast number one when you first wake up and then go have a buffet breakfast an hour later. Yeah. Let's see, shows, games. There's different events all over the ship all the time that are included in it. There's lots of seminars and instructional classes that are included. Dance nights.
There's a calendar each day that tells you of the specific events that are happening that you can schedule for or not schedule for, depending on what you'd like to do.
Yes, and You can find that on your app, or you can ask for a paper compass, and it's got the listings of everything happening on the ship and off the ship that day. You have to request these now. They're not automatic, but they have no problem bringing them to you for free. Your room steward will handle that if you want the compass. What else? There's lots of other free things, but I can't see. There's activities in the Seaplex. You can do roller skating, bumper cars, archery in there. What else? They have lots of events. I know there's table tennis and there's cornhole tournaments.
Upstairs, there's the video games.
Video games.
I think that's an additional fee. But
Those are fee based. Rock climbing wall.
Yes.
There's the flow rider on the Quantum.
Yes.
And we are speaking predominantly about Royal Caribbean because every cruise line has their own perks, but in general, there's an enormous amount of things that are included in any stay. There's a workout room, a gym.
There's a big track around the
running
whole ship.
deck.
Yep, running deck.
Those are all included. And on Royal Caribbean, especially on Quantum, and they'll advertise this, there are different movies that they show by the poolside each night. Oh, the pools are free too.
They're included.
They're included. I shouldn't say free, but included. There's different movies that they will show by the pool. So those are fun events. Now, the few things that aren't, they're included and are available to you, but you will have to pay additional fees for any of the specialty restaurants on the ship. Some of the classes that are offered through the specialty restaurants have an additional fee. The arcade will have an additional fee. I believe the iFly and the North Star have additional fees, although they do offer some complimentary times at different times on the ship. You just have to look for those and sign up for them ahead of time because I know they get very busy. And then, of course, things like excursions, those are all additional fees. And spa treatments are additional fees.
If you download the app that they have, it gives everything there for you, and it's convenient. You'll have internet access to it on the ship, so you won't have any disruptions to access the app.
Yes, and on internet, even if you don't purchase the additional internet, you can access your app all the time. It's part of the package. And you can also, like if there's two people in your party, you can text each other through the app, even if you didn't purchase the additional internet. But you do need to purchase additional internet if you need the internet, and I will talk to that about that in another question. So any other things you can think of on the
I think
what's included?
Covered just about all of it. I'm sure there's a few other things that we didn't see, but for the most part, there's a lot that you receive for your cruise fare.
Right. So, all right. Question number 2: will I get seasick? I'm going to let Ron answer this one.
So I was nervous about being seasick. I get that in the ocean when I'm deep sea fishing. So that's part of why we did this as a first time cruise for me, to see how I feel. I did get a little bit, you feel a little bit on there, but I didn't feel queasy or where I felt I was going to vomit, for lack of a better word. But I did have Dramamine with me. I did have the ear patches behind your ear that go on, and I also had the wristbands. The one other thing that I highly recommend as well is their ginger.
Sugared ginger.
Yeah. And you just nibble. You don't eat the whole thing because it will burn, but you just nibble on it and here and there. And if I ever felt queasy, I did that, and it subsided probably in about 20 minutes. But you could feel this ship move, but it wasn't anything of high force or where you're going to get seasick on this particular cruise.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle, and if you check the time of year that you're cruising, that will factor into which ocean you're going to be in at which time of year. If it's stormy season, if it's hurricane season in the Bahamas, things like that. So that'll be a factor too. If you're more prone to motion sickness, don't go during those times of year.
I would highly recommend also with the Dramamine, get a non-drowsy, because I felt the effects of that and it put me to sleep within 3 hours. So I know now to use a non-drowsy form of it's like meclizine, or the name brand is Dramamine, but so I'd highly recommend that if you're sensitive to drowsiness, like I am apparently. Okay, so question number 3 is, what should I pack for a cruise?
Well, we were just discussing this, and women versus men is very different. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I'll go first because I have a shorter version.
Okay.
So for men, we're pretty simple. We'll grab clothes for however many days we're going to be there. We don't typically change clothes multiple times a day. So I packed enough for 4 days. It was 3 nights and 4 days. And I was good to go. I didn't have to change my morning clothing versus what we were wearing for the evening, because it was pretty much, collared shirt for me, and kind of what you see here is what I wear throughout the day. And it was great for the evening, the dinner time.
Yeah, there were no formal nights on this particular cruise, so we didn't have to dress up too much. And we both sort of dress this way most of the time. We are not like ripped shorts and holy t-shirts kind of people. We dress a little more resort casual. That's kind of what the typical dress is on a cruise. And there's all sorts of debate about what you should or shouldn't wear. I definitely overpack because I do like to bring multiple changes of things, or if I get a little cold, I want to have a wrap, things like that. I think as a woman, it's helpful to have a wrap. I like to take a little handbag to dinner, but I probably won't carry one around the ship during the day. Comfortable shoes, whatever you're comfortable in. If you're going to go into the Seaplex and you're going to play a sport in there, or you're going to ice skate, not even ice skating, roller skate is irrelevant. But if you're going to do on their court or anything, you'll have to have closed-in shoes. If you're going to do one of the dancing classes, I know they offer line dance classes and things like that. You do have to have closed-in shoes for that. So I am a flip-flop wearer, but I did bring tennis shoes. And if you're going to run on the sport deck, you definitely want tennis shoes with you.
And check your weather too, to depending on if you need a coat versus just a sweatshirt or a sweater or something like that, or jeans versus shorts. Time of year is going to make a big difference.
And where your destinations are. This was just a simple 3-night cruise in January to Ensenada out of the Port of Los Angeles. So that weather is very similar to where we come from. And so we knew it could be a little cooler in the evenings, especially if you're up on deck, and just ambient during the day, just like being in a big hotel or mall. If you go on the excursions, check the weather for where you're going to be at. Are you going to be walking? Maybe you don't want open-toed shoes if you're walking in another country and you're going to walk for miles and miles and miles. So you want to do a little bit of research ahead of time, and that'll help you determine what you're bringing. Obviously, this was also a cruise on the Pacific Ocean right now. If you were taking a cruise through Alaska or in colder climate, you would definitely want more layers. And especially if you want to take advantage of the balcony, if you have a balcony room, or if you're up on deck.
Or if you're going to go on port and leave the ship and go sightseeing and things like that.
Definitely.
Know your weather where you're going.
You want to dress accordingly. And I just saw something on another cruise report for Alaska, and since we're planning on taking an Alaskan cruise, they said they don't recommend umbrellas. They recommend raincoats because the wind gets so strong it was taking people's umbrellas away.
Yeah.
And if you're in the rain, you want a raincoat. So anyway, just a side note on that. Well, let's go on to the next question.
Okay.
So question number 4. Do you unpack all of your belongings once you are in the stateroom?
Yes. Definitely, you don't want to feel like you're living out of a suitcase. There's plenty of closet space and dresser drawers for both of us, more than what we needed.
Way more than we expected.
Yes. And it was clean. Everything was open space. They had a bunch of hangers there to hang your clothing that you would need, whether it's shirts or pants or dress clothes, what have you.
And you can ask for more hangers if you need them, but we probably had 15 to 20 hangers in our closets and a lot of drawer space. And the good thing about that is then you can take your luggage and stick it under the bed. There's almost always enough room for luggage to get under the bed because your cabins are small. And so you want to have enough room to move around in there. So yes, unpack. Yeah. And there's a lot of space in the bathroom too. We take a hanging toiletry bag. Actually, we took 2. They fit right on the back of the door. There was hooks for them. And that was wonderful. And if you watch our other video on cruise hacks and things to bring on the ship, we did bring some magnetic hooks, but we truly didn't need them. There was ample space for everything.
Okay, question 5. How do you pay for other things on board?
All right, well, when you get on board and you get to your stateroom, you are going to be given a SeaPass card. These were our SeaPasses from our recent trip. This will be in a little sealed envelope in a slot by your stateroom door. And when you can access your stateroom, which on most Royal Caribbean cruises is right around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you can go in and you're going to use this for everything, pretty much. You have a credit card assigned to this ahead of time. Typically, I know there's a way you can attach money to it somehow, but I don't have experience with that, and it definitely is not my recommendation. Having a credit card attached is so easy. So anytime you would need to purchase something, which we really didn't need to purchase much of anything.
I believe because the credit card is attached to your room already, so whatever you use it for, whether it's casino, slot machines, or food, you use this card, they bill it to your room, from what I understand, and it's charged to your card at the end of your stay.
Now with the casino, we did bring cash. That's one of the only things you can bring cash on the ship to use. And we do like to gamble, so we were in the casino a bit, and we had cash with us, and they have no problem taking cash in the casino. But if you're going to buy drinks at any of the bars and you didn't pre-purchase the drink package, and you have to drink a lot of drinks to make the drink package worthwhile for you. Otherwise, I think you're paying anywhere from $5 to $7 on average for a drink if you want a drink, but it'll just go on here. Same as if you go into any of the specialty restaurants, specialty coffee shops, there's a Starbucks on board, you use your CPass card for all of that. So really the only cash opportunities are casino gambling, and if you choose to add additional tips for your room steward or your head waiter or anybody else that you want to physically give cash to at the end of the trip, we'll talk about that too. But so the CPass card is where it's all at.
Okay, now to question number 6. Tipping. What's the protocol and what's our opinion on it?
Okay, well, the protocol for tipping, standard, what they are going to want to do is they are going to want to attach a daily gratuity for each person in the stateroom. And I believe on the Quantum, when we were just on, it ended up being about, I think, $18 a day.
Yes.
Per person.
Per person.
Onto our card. And I went round and round about that. And there are so many videos online, take off the automatic gratuity or don't take off the automatic gratuity, and you will get a lot of different opinions. So this is what we chose to do for the automatic gratuity. We left it on, and we additionally tipped a little extra to our room steward and our head waiter on the last day of the trip, and here is why. When you divide that automatic gratuity out by the number of people that are behind the scenes on the cruise, that they make a very small living wage. Very small. Most of these people are from other countries. They provide phenomenal service. I mean, these are like the best customer service people
they really
out
are.
there.
They really are.
And when you take that amount, it's not just going to 3 or 4 people. There are literally thousands of people that touch your aspects of the cruise, whether it's in the laundry, taking care of all the bedding, all the behind the scenes laundry stuff, the food preparation staff, the people on the floor. Every time, cleanliness. The ships are immaculate and they are sanitized constantly. So the housekeeping staff, the janitorial staff, and I'm not talking about the officers and the true on deck staff. I'm talking about all the behind the scenes people. There are even if you took that number 18 and you divided it by 1,000, you're getting fragments, like a few cents. And yes, there's a lot of people on the cruise, but a lot of people take off the gratuity. And it's just a nice gesture. They're probably not making above their wage. I would be surprised if they're even making $50 per sailing. So I like to leave it on there. I think you should. I know that you can take it off and then add it on later yourself. I've seen things about that, but if you research it, truly research it, a lot of people benefit from that.
They really go above and beyond, not just a customer service and doing their job, but on this particular cruise, everything was you felt really taken care of and catered to, and it was really awesome. And even when you're eating at the buffets, they're there every few minutes making sure you're okay or you need anything or cleaning up on your plates or
can I bring you something else, or can I take this away, or what can I do for you?
Very, very good, great service.
And it's multiple people. You'll always have the same head waiter and their assistant, and you'll always in the main dining room, and you'll always have the same room steward. And for us, those people definitely went above and beyond. So I like to take little note cards on. I talked about that in our other cruise video. and I'll link that down below. And wrote a little personalized note and just left a few bucks. You don't have to leave a lot of money. But if you leave $10, $15, $20 for those special crew members that really went above and beyond every single day to help you, that's important to them. I mean, some of these people are on the ship 7 months out of the year. They're away from their families. And so we like to engage with them, talk to them, be friendly. They're super nice. And that little extra tip is helpful for them.
So we didn't leave $15 or $20 a day. It was just
an extra.
I think we left $20 for our
room steward.
And then one for our main waiter when we ate in the evening. What restaurant was that?
That was just in the main dining room.
Main dining, but I forget the name of it. I don't know what the name was.
I don't know the name of the dining room.
But his name was Ivan, and he was
great. Ivan the Great. He introduced himself as Ivan the Great.
Our hotel steward guy, or
a room steward.
Was Teddy,
and he was wonderful. He made towel animals for us each day, and I was really excited because there's a lot of rumors that they don't make towel animals very often anymore, but we got them twice.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Yep. Pretty neat how they do things. So.
Yeah. All right. So that was tipping. Number 7, do I need a passport?
Well, I'll answer that one. The answer is no.
Maybe.
What it's called a closed
loop cruise.
Closed loop cruise. That's right. All you need is, because we planned this one very quickly, so I didn't get a passport. All I needed was my driver's license and my birth certificate. Now,
this is a closed loop port in the United States.
Yes.
So you have to depart and return to the exact same port in the United States in order to get around the passport issue. So, for example, this cruise on Royal Caribbean's Quantum of the Seas left from the port of Los Angeles and returned to the port of Los Angeles. Therefore, we did not need... I brought my passport. Ron didn't have time to get a passport. And even getting back on the ship, we got off the ship in Ensenada. Yes. Getting back on the ship, they just looked at our travel documents. He had his birth certificate and his driver's license with him. I had my passport with me, and we both had our CPass cards.
Your CPass card, they'll scan it, and it'll show your photo because they take your picture. So that will show who you are. So nobody can take your card and try to use it for anything because it'll show your picture.
So and then they
with fraud or anything like that as well.
Yep, and they verify it. And there are a few other closed-loop cruises. When we do Alaska, it's also considered a closed-loop cruise because we can depart out of Washington and return to Washington. Obviously, Alaska is also within the United States, but there's always a foreign port that you hit on every cruise out of the United States, and this one would be Vancouver, British Columbia. Also, we found out you can also go to the Bahamas on a closed loop out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale, as long as you depart out of one of those two and return to it. You can go to the Bahamas. Yep. So Nassau, that's a fun cruise, inexpensive typically. Yeah. And so, it is less hassle if you have a passport. Honestly, it's a little faster. And when you get off the ship and you're returning back to the port, when you're done with your cruise, they'll just put you through 2 different lines. There's a passport line, there's a birth certificate line.
And mine was very fast.
It was absolutely quick.
Literally minutes, if that.
So, not a problem.
Yeah.
But we were really excited, because
that was good.
We didn't know you could do that way. So that was the nice thing we found out about. Here, Ron will ask the next question.
Question number 8. Is there a dress code?
We sort of talked about that with our packing. Overall, no, there's not a true dress code. It's just sort of a given. Just sort of be resort casual on the daily. Dinner, they really would prefer you didn't wear jeans into the in the main dining room. However, people do. But it's just kind of, we don't have that many opportunities to dress up a little nicer. So just have fun with it. Dress up a little bit. If there's a formal night on your ship, they will expect you to come in formal attire. That might be black tie. They will indicate what it is ahead of time. You can choose to go or not. The other things that are fun, it's not really dress code, but there's different theme nights on most ships. And so there was an 80s, well, it wasn't an 80s, it was a 70s, 80s, and 90s decades party. And so we were planning on going in our 80s garb because we were teenagers in the 80s. Unfortunately, that was Ron's Dramamine night.
Yeah.
So we didn't make...
fell asleep not on
a little
early and put me out for about a good 10 hours.
Yeah.
So that was 12 hours actually.
Yeah, it was a long time.
That really took its effect.
But so just check your in your cruise compass,
Yeah.
and then online about a week before you sail, they will let you know if there's any specialty nights, and they will mention a recommended dress code. They just really don't want people showing up in the main dining room in their bathing suit and a cover up flomping through there, because it's just not what it's designed for. That's what the buffet is for. If you want to be super casual, totally, that's your prerogative, but they try to have the dining rooms be just a little bit nicer.
Okay, so question number 9. When should I arrive to board the ship?
All right, so about 45 days before your departure time, you will get a message from Royal Caribbean, and you will have the opportunity to go on and fill out your boarding documents and sign up for a boarding slot. I personally like to get on the ship early. This is another one of those debated things. Some lifetime cruisers will say, oh, I want to do it last minute. Some people, like myself, I like to get on early. And so I'm going to just speak from my viewpoint. The reason I like to get on early is there's less people fighting you to get in there, first of all. And if you drive yourself to the port, early means you find a parking space that's not too far away or in an off-site lot somewhere. So that's a big factor.
Yeah.
Second thing is when you get across, you get through customs quickly. You get your passport or your birth certificate checked quickly. There's not lines and lines of people waiting in a queue. Now they have really expedited the process. It was very quick. And it had been like 17 years since I had last cruised, and it was way quicker than I remember it being before. But we picked an 11 a.m. time slot. 10:30 I think was the first time slot available. But and I swear we did that like 12:01 a.m. and we still got like 11 o'clock time slot. But we got through our little checkpoint, put our luggage through the security scanners. And that's another thing, and I don't even think I addressed that, but I'm going to segue to that really quick. They can actually take large luggage through the security scanner. People were like, oh, you can only have a small carry-on. No, that is not true. You do not have to have just a small carry-on. Our large suitcase fit through that scanner. They could see everything. So that is not a problem. But yeah, we got on early. We chose not to porter our luggage, and I actually think I'm going to address that in another question here. But I don't mind carrying it on because then I know it's with us the whole time. You don't have to wait for it to show up at your stateroom. A lot of times it doesn't show up till after dinner. So if you want your stuff earlier and you want to unpack earlier before you disembark from the port, then it's nice to carry your luggage with you.
I guess the downside is, for me personally, just on my first cruise, I would have liked to have gotten there a little bit later because you do carry your luggage around. It's on rollers, which is not a big deal. But for me personally, pulling around until the room is open is kind of not my cup of tea. But was it awful? No. But if you want to eat or something, you have your luggage there. It's a little inconvenient, but it definitely is a pro compared to the other side of it is where when you check in your luggage, you don't have no control of when you're going to get it. And when you go to check out, you have to put your luggage there like at 10 o'clock at night the night before. And then obviously you need clothes for the next day. And so you got to manage that as well, which is not something that we wanted to do, so that's why we chose to take our luggage. But I think getting there a little bit later, have a noon or 1 check-in for me would have been better. But that way we could explore more before we could go into our room. But yeah,
I think we were in super fast mode too. Like we're really quick eaters anyway, and we got on so quickly. And I figured, we've got 2 hours till our stateroom's going to be open. We'll just meander into the buffet area and we'll just relax. And we ate so fast. Actually, we went to the muster station though first thing, and I should mention that. I do think I have. What do you do when you first? I do. I'm going to wait and save that for number 11. I'll save that muster station comment. But anyway, basically, you just decide how much time do you want on the ship. I like to get on early. I like to get on before everybody else is there where I don't feel rushed. Because if you do a later boarding time, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, the closer you get to disembarkation time, the more people are there, and the elevators are packed with people at that point.
Yeah.
And the buffet gets extremely crowded at that point. So I kind of like to get in the buffets before everybody else has been in there being germy.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, you kind of weigh it out, and
yeah, I like that.
I liked 11 o'clock, but okay. Our next question, number 10, how much luggage can I bring?
You can answer that one better than me.
They really don't limit you. I mean, I think in standard they're saying, oh, the average person brings 2 pieces of luggage each plus a carry-on. That's like a standard. We packed all of our main stuff in our large luggage on wheels, and we packed all of our toiletries and cabin essentials
in a smaller luggage.
And then I did still have a carry-on and my purse. But
yeah.
They really don't limit it. Really, you're just limited by how much do you want to tote around if you're toting it. And if you are going to take it on, porter it instead of portering it, just know that you're the one that's carrying it around. Yeah. And if you're going to do that, use the elevators, not the stairs. We did take it down 2 flights of stairs, and that was kind of a pain in the butt because they were heavy.
Yeah.
They were definitely heavy. But yeah, they really don't limit the luggage. And again, as long as it fits through their scanner, and you can look online, the dimensions for Royal Caribbean's scanners are listed online, but it was large. It couldn't be any wider than like 24 inches wide. Well, most even big luggage is only like 16 to 18 inches wide, and under 2 feet tall, and it could be any length. So
we can measure ours and put it down in the
I can put that down there. I mean, that's a large Toomey luggage. So shout out to Toomey. Anyway, okay. Next question, number 11. What do I do once I get on board?
Eat.
We got to do one thing before that. Get your muster drill out of the way first.
Oh, yes, that's right.
If you don't know the muster drill, that's where you find out where your emergency station is. If there is an incident at sea and you have to get on a lifeboat, where you meet. And they're going to make sure you've read the safety protocol, which you should have already done online. Or you could do it while you're waiting in the cruise port terminal.
And it's a requirement. You can't just say, I'm not doing it. You are absolutely required to do it.
Yeah, it is an international,
yes.
It's like international law. Yeah, so you have to do that. It takes a couple of minutes. You sign off on it that you've done it. And that's
it's not a pass or fail. You just do it, and it's, it's pretty common sense.
Gone are the olden days where you had to put on a life jacket and stand in the hallway with your life jacket on for 45 minutes waiting for everybody to show up in front of their lifeboat.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. It's all... You're assigned station. It's even on your CPAS card. It'll tell you where your muster station location is in case you forget. So do that first and then go eat.
Yeah. Technology is wonderful.
Yeah. Go eat and then explore the ship. Yeah. Once you can get in your stateroom, which is usually about 1 o'clock, go in, put your stuff away, and you still have a few hours before you're leaving port. So you can eat second lunch then in the afternoon if you want to. There's a lot of food. Food's available all the time.
Yes.
Kind of talked about this one already.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. Can I carry my own luggage versus use a porter? You really talked about.
And we've discussed it, but yes, you absolutely, if you would like to carry your own luggage on and off, you can. Oh, that was the other part. Ron mentioned if you decide to use a porter, everybody is going to get tags in their stateroom the evening before leaving. Yeah. And so when you're packing up, you would use those luggage tags if you were letting them take your luggage away. And it'll tell you where you need to go the next morning to check out. It's going to give you a time window when they want you to be going off the ship because you don't get to lounge around all day. They're on very tight schedules. And depending on what level you are, there's different lounges that you can wait in to leave. Now, if you choose to do that, you have to have your luggage packed up and outside of your door by 10 p.m. the night before the cruise ends. If you like that, that's fine. Don't forget to pack yourself some clothes for the next day or whatever you might need in your smaller bag that you're going to carry off with you. However, we don't want to do that. We like to have our luggage with us. So we just sort of ignored that. We didn't put the tags on, and we looked on our schedule to see when we could get off the ship as somebody who was carrying their own luggage. We lucked out. I mean, we had 2 options. We could have done it at a later time, or we could have done it early, and we elected once we were done and we had gotten up and we ate and
we had breakfast at 6:30 in the morning and went back to our room after we ate, and by 7:30 we were off the ship.
yeah, we were like, we may as well, we got to drive home. So,
Yeah.
and it was no problem. We went through customs. I mean, from walking down the gangway through customs and into our car was maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah,
It was so fast.
really, really quick.
It was so fast. So I couldn't recommend that enough.
Yes.
Okay, number 13. How large are the staterooms? Bigger than you thought they were going to be, right?
Yes, I thought they were going to be just a little cubicle of some sort, but with the balcony that we had, it was made it very open and not like if you're claustrophobic. For me, it didn't do that at all, and it was much better. And then having the view of the balcony, being able to see out. We were on the 9th floor or deck, if you will, and but everything was open. It's not like we had to bump into each other to walk past each other.
Very spacious.
Yeah.
Now, when I've cruised previously, I have stayed in an interior stateroom and an ocean view stateroom where it just had a porthole. This was the first cruise that I've been in a balcony stateroom, and I will never not have at least a balcony stateroom again. It was fantastic. To me, it's worth that little bit of money for that upgrade. I know now that for the interior staterooms, they have like a fake window, but people that are in there are like, you can't tell if it's day or night. You just don't know. When you have an outdoor facing stateroom with a porthole, you can at least see out. But Royal Caribbean has switched. Most of their cruise ships now are predominantly balcony rooms around the outside. There's not very many just portholes. So, and then of course there's suites. And I haven't been in a suite yet, but we don't really need to. There's the two of us, you know, and the balcony was wonderful.
You can sit out there. There's chairs to recline and put your feet up that are provided.
Table.
Yeah, and you know, it's a beautiful view. It was beautiful weather.
It was. And we were out there for sail away. We were on our balcony. We didn't go up to the top. We're not partiers, but there's a party environment up on the top if you want to be up on the pool deck. Absolutely. We were in our balcony for the sail away and, you know, chatting with other people out on their balconies, like, hey, you know, you could see them. But it was a beautiful view, beautiful sunset from our balcony. And every morning was wonderful to be able to go out there and watch the sun rise over the ocean. And
clean air. It just smelled good, and it was peaceful and very nice.
And we were high enough up. I do want to mention this. If you are on the 6th deck, you are going to be eye level with the lifeboats. So
if you have a balcony,
go a bit higher to have a more unobstructed view. Ours was great. We could see very clearly to even down to the ocean. In fact, we could see well enough that we could see a great white shark swimming next to the ship, which was really amazing. But yeah, staterooms are a nice size. Oh, I'll ask Ron this question because he had to do this. Number 14, can I stay connected online and work while on the ship?
Yes. So you'll need to get the package for the internet, or you can purchase one day at a time if you just need one day.
They have different packages.
They have different packages depending on what you need. It is per line or per person. I couldn't share mine with Kim, and otherwise there's additional fee to transfer it over. Actually, it's a full fee. I think it was $31.
Yeah, I think you might be able to get discounts for each device you add on, but it maybe is $1 or $2. I don't know.
But yeah, I was able to do work that I needed to do and complete. And
was it quick? It was good internet?
It was very simple on my phone through that app. And it was...
Boom.
Yes.
That's Royal Caribbean's internet. Boom.
Yeah, it was very simple to connect. And again, it attaches to your account. And then you pay it. It pays and gets charged at the end. Really, really simple. And the internet worked fantastic for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 15. How strictly do cruise ships adhere to port departure schedules?
You can take that.
They're very strict.
Yes.
They're very strict. And we were up on the top deck for sail away from the Ensenada port with a bunch of other people watching the cruise port, waiting to see who was going to be running to the pier. So there really weren't that many people that were running late on our cruise ship, but they will leave. When they tell you that time, be to the ship on that time. Don't be the person that gets left behind, because once they pull up the gangway, they are not putting it back down for you. And it doesn't matter if you are running or driving or
What
whatever
your
you're doing,
excuses,
they're
yeah.
not letting you back on. And then you're going to have to figure out how to get home from the port. So save yourself that time and stress and just be there on time.
Yes.
Whether it's boarding the ship in the first place, be there during your time slot when they say to be there, or leaving port to come home.
Because they tell you when they're leaving port from the, like from Ensenada, they'll tell you when they're leaving and when to be back.
Yep.
And you know, you have all day, so there's really no good excuse.
No, manage your time well.
Yes.
Well, those were the main 15 questions that we were going to answer for you. Ron, do you have any other questions that you might have had before sailing?
No, I think that answered everything, and it was pretty simple.
Are you excited to go on another cruise?
I am. I think it'd be fun, and it's going to be exciting to do again and not take Dramamine. The drowsy form.
Some non-drowsy.
I'll take some non-drowsy, and should be great.
Obviously, as you know, we like going on different types of adventures, and since we are empty nesters, we do plan on cruising more frequently. This is a fun, now I think he sees how fun it is to cruise. So if you're out there and you see us on a cruise or out anywhere, stop by and say hi. Let us know you watch us online, and as always, please like this video. Leave us a subscribe, absolutely. That way
leave us a comment, and if you have questions, you know,
we'll answer them to the best of our ability.
Absolutely.
And we really appreciate you watching us, and we hope to see you on a cruise or on some sort of adventure.
And we'll see you again. Bye.